This is the Toplofty Lounge here for a smooth show for you today. Oh yeah, baby. In the 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, baby. Yeah, here we go. In 11, 10, 9. Oh yeah, baby. Here we come. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Top Lofty Lounge, episode 46, Conversations for the Elevated. Welcome, all my fellow snobs. This week, it's movie night. Movie night. This week, we're going to be talking about the movie Rock and Rule. It is a heavy metal style movie, animated musical science fantasy film from 1983. 1983. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. But before we talk about that, I have to introduce my co-host. He is the mock swagger to my Mick Jagger, presently recovering. It's Cam. Say hello, Cam.
Good evening, everyone. How do you like my voice?
All right. Hello, Cam. Are you still under the weather or something? You sound a little bit put out.
Yeah, I'm suffering from the Wu flu.
Oh, still? I thought you were getting better. No?
Well, I am better, but I have a persistent sinus or kind of congestion thing going on.
Yeah. So you got over the initial, but it's kind of the 2 weeks where you're still below, right? You're not bedridden, but you're still sort of like just sort
Yeah,
of not 100% for, and it might
yeah.
be another
I
week or
think,
two. Yeah.
well, hopefully less than that. I don't have a fever anymore, so that's probably a good sign. Um, but I think Wednesday, when we had the Babylon 5 show, that might have been my worst. Thank you, Dave, for the good vibes. I appreciate it. Um, but it's been getting better since then, but it's a little slow.
Yeah. Yeah. The typical. All right. Well, let's say hello to everybody in the chat. First of all, we see, of course, Weatherman, our most loyal viewer, is here. Good to see you, Weatherman. Welcome. Dave, DP, Dave is in the chat as well. Who else? Is that it?
And
Everyone
that's
else.
it.
Everyone else is.
Hey, wait, no, PBR Street Gang just showed up.
Oh, did he? Oh, there he is. All right, PBR. Welcome. Yeah. So, but hey, you know, my screen says there's 5 people in the chat, so maybe there's a couple people just being ninja watchers, or maybe it's the 2 tabs I have open watching the show, trying to get the numbers up. Could be just that. And speaking of that, don't forget to like and subscribe to the show. It helps us out. We are slowly climbing. We are at 566 subscribers. So if we want to get to 1,000, we're currently climbing of about 1 a week. So it'll be another 444 more weeks, and we will hit our goal. That's awesome.
Oh, look,
I
Green
can
Girl.
see it there. It's coming. Oh,
Green,
Green
Green,
Girl's in the
Green
chat
Girl.
too. Welcome, Green
Oh,
Girl.
thank you, Green Girl. What a nice sentiment.
Yeah, everyone.
Hey,
Cam's get, hey,
what?
Cam's getting all the sympathy. I'm sick too. Well, not really, but
You were sick a couple months ago.
that's true.
And
That
I
was
had no sympathy for you. I got to admit, I was just like, "Will this guy
that's
shut up
true.
about being
Yeah,
sick?"
shut up. Carry on with the show. The show must go on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of had the same as you. It was like maybe it's the same one going on because I was like out for like a day and like I felt crappy, and then it was like a day I was slept the whole time. It was just knocked me out really bad. But then when it was 2 weeks and I was still, not 100%, I was like, oh, when is this stupid thing going to be over? You're just like can't quite concentrate like you need to and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking that's why I'm thinking maybe it might be another week for you, but sounds kind of the similar. But anyway,
Can we talk about our week a little bit?
yeah, of course. But first, before we do, I think we should hold on a sec. We should put on the birds
Oh, of
because
course.
let's take a look outside. and see how things are at in the dugout, my place. Put the birds on, and yeah, it's very snowy. Taken earlier this morning. Here we go. All right, that's soothing. Watch the birds fight over. Oh, there he goes. Look out. They attack each other and fight. They're nasty little bastards sometimes. Yeah, go ahead. Talk about your week, Cam.
Well, excuse me, I'm not going to be able to get to the mute button for all that, so pardon me. Scott Adams, was talking about he was saying he doesn't accept assignments, or he's not looking to accept assignments from anybody. As
Scott Adams,
yeah,
the cartoonist.
Yes, probably because someone was like, "Hey, you should do this," or whatever, and he was just kind of clapping back at him. But I said, "Hey, well, what about invitations?" And then so I invited him on the show because he was a guest star on Babylon 5. I said, in 2 to 3 years, we should be getting around to your episodes, so we'd love to have you on. No response, unfortunately. So oh well.
Scott Adams, you hit him up,
Yeah,
but no response.
Nor did I expect one. But yeah, I figured, hey, why not, mention it now, give him a, time to schedule, and couple
That's true.
years.
He's a busy man.
Again, 15 minutes, 2 years from now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I watch his show all the time.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, he could do us the favor, right?
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what? Maybe he needs the science fiction snob to approach him. He's just waiting. He doesn't want the number 2 man. Maybe he wants the big cheese, the Nacho Grande, the to come and approach him. He's like, well,
put it on your calendar for 6
months.
Come on,
snob. Don't send your minions out to talk to me. You should come and talk to me man to man straight. Maybe that's how he feels. Oh, Neutron's in the chat. Hey, Neutron.
Hey,
maybe so that's what he needs. Maybe you know what? Why don't we just let you approach him a couple times? It'll save the big guns for like when we really need them. Maybe that's
all right. All right. Okay. Here's the plan. In 6 months, I'll do it again, and then 6 more months, one more time, and then
I'll go in.
Then you go in.
Let me just get my phone here and put in my calendar. That's what's that? A year and a half from now. Let me just put in reminder. Hold on. Here we go.
Yeah. He doesn't come around until season 4, so it's
approach Scott Adams about Babylon 5. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I linked the promo to the show and everything.
And he just ignored it?
Yeah, he doesn't answer stuff, I'm sure,
Yeah, probably not. Man. I mean, he's probably got minions to do that. I mean, I don't even answer stuff, and I don't have any minions to do that for me. So, but I do think that's a good idea. We should start. I've been, mulling this over. I think we should start hitting up some of these actors to try to, at the end of the show, maybe we can, interview them when Babylon 5 is, because we're halfway through, right? It's 13. There's how many episodes? 24.
I think there's 22. I think
22 in the first season. Yeah. So we're more than halfway.
Oh,
we start. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have a bit of a problem because like 2/3 of the cast is dead.
That's true. A lot of them are dead. Well, that makes it easy then. We don't have a lot of people to approach with less emails, right?
Right.
I noticed that it's quite a lot.
Unusually a high amount of people.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'd love to interview Garibaldi, right? But yeah,
nope.
He's, the actress who plays Delin, I think she's still alive, right?
No,
she died.
Yeah,
she was on
not
Lost.
Too long ago, a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, she's okay. She was on Lost, eh?
Yep.
But some of our, and of course, both Peter Jurisic, who plays Londo, he's dead.
He's alive.
He's still alive.
Yeah. Andrew Katsoulis plays Shakar, has died quite some time ago.
Oh, because I'd love to interview both those guys together. They would be hilarious to probably. I would think,
and
interview.
Oh well, I won't say.
So Peter, but he might be. I mean, I'm surprised. He's pretty old. Maybe he could be.
Well, yeah. I mean, the show was on 30 years ago. And these guys,
he was old then.
Well, I mean, he was experienced actor at the time.
Yeah. So he might be drooling the. I won't say that. I don't want to insult him if we try and get him on the show. But yeah. All right. Well, that's good because he's one of my favorites. But 2 would be perfect. Those 2 guys. But Bill. The guy who plays Bill Bill Mooney. You like he's one of your favorites, right?
Oh
He's
yeah,
on
that
the
would be
show.
that would be
He's alive, right?
yeah.
He's still busy doing stuff. I think he'd be good to get. I mean, I'd like to get him. He'd be the first one that I would try to approach. I think, but yeah.
Well, he was a big influence on my childhood as Will Robinson in Lost in Space. I was a huge fan of that show.
Yeah. Well, then you'd be the perfect person to interview him.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think we should hit him up first. But anyway. All right. Anyway, that's talking about a different show. We're supposed to talk about this show. Okay.
Mm.
Are we ready to get going here?
Yeah, sure.
I think we've hemmed and hawed enough. 10 minutes to give people a chance to come in. We've got our viewer count. It says we're up to 8.
If our
most loyal
stage
viewers.
director would be off screens, doing the stretch gesture right now, because
Yeah, stretch.
we're filling time.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the movie. So, all right, rock and rule. Okay, Cam, you always do the background of the movie. So, you want to go ahead?
No, I have nothing prepared for this. I don't know what the background is.
Yeah, I know. I'm just putting you on the spot there. All right, hold on here. It's
you notice how shameless I don't care at all. It's like, no, I have nothing.
I'm just okay. Just let me pour myself a little bit of drink.
All right.
Let me a little bit.
Well,
of
while
rum.
you're doing that, let me address the audience.
I might need a little rum to get through.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea, actually.
This is my go-to rum. Yeah. Hold on.
You know what sounds really great right now? Some kind of whiskey,
a little bit of Coke with that.
Like a 7 and 7. Yeah, like a soda pop and alcohol drink sounds really good.
Yeah, I
right
usually
now.
Rum or whiskey. Rum is kind of my thing, but whiskey
I did try. Jason's
I like Jack Daniels. It's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah. Ahead,
Jason recommended a hot toddy for me.
Yes. Yeah.
And I did try it. It didn't seem to have any positive effect. So,
no. Assimilating knowledge is in. Thanks. Assimilating. I saw you promoting the show. We appreciate that.
Yeah, right on.
No, I think Weatherman is trying to insinuate that he didn't like the show. Maybe he needs to drink for this one.
And maybe he doesn't like us. Maybe Weatherman, we finally turned him off.
One or the other. All right,
let's apologize.
Let's get into the show. All right,
yeah.
Let's talk about it. Okay, so Rock and Rule. It is a 1983 Canadian animated musical science fantasy film.
Similar musical science fantasy film.
Similar to no, it's not a furry film. It's just the fact that it's a historical documentary, right? It's either set in the far, far future or the very, very distant past. So that all the characters are they're based on supposedly the story is that
street animals.
The humans are dead. All the humans have been killed. There's no humans, and dogs, cats, and rats have mutated, and they're now intelligent and just sort of human-like. Most of them are rats, eh? Most of the the main characters are all
I don't know what half of them are. They?
Yeah, they're kind of with the nose. They got the nose. Look at the nose. It's kind of.
I don't know.
I think they're supposed to be.
No, because the rats are very the rats are running the club, and they are very distinctly different.
Yeah, that's true.
So I have no.
Well, I did a little research, and I was reading that the movie started. So I'll go off here since you brought it up. I was reading it, and it was originally was supposed to be, they were trying to do it as a kids movie, right? And they had Angel, the main character, turn into a guitar, and then Mock Swagger played the guitar, and that's how they brought the bad thing. And then the demon or whatever was into the world. But then they were kind of pushed off and were told, hey, listen, this is really a kids thing. Maybe you should, adult. It shouldn't be a more of an adult animated film. And so then they started to make the characters a little more human-like. So that's why we have these characters that are, they kind of got snouts they're not cats, that's for sure. They kind of have snouts like rats, but you're right. What's his name in the Mylar? He's very rat-like, but they seem kind of rat-like. But they're definitely not cats, and I would assume that the dogs are more the three brothers there, big and they kind of look. But yeah, it's not really it's not really set in stone, right?
Yeah, it's a little unclear. Now it was like they gave the example of dogs, cats, and rats, right? And street animals is what they.
Yeah,
But
street
so
animals.
there could be other things, I guess. But they also inexplicably refer to themselves as humans at some point, though.
At one, I know, I noticed at one time they say we're humans, so maybe they didn't script. It wasn't. Uh, the editing wasn't as good as it should have been. And then, of course, there's a time they're driving in a car and they almost hit a dog, and they're like, "Stupid dog!" Right? And I'm like, "Okay,
Right?
but
Yeah. It's a
guys?
regular dog, like, you know.
Aren't you
Like,
guys dogs?" Like, what happened?
yeah.
Anyway.
So it's they're not sticking to the concept too well. But
Okay, so this
otherwise,
is
you know,
otherwise. Like I said, it's like heavy metal, right? It's in the same style as heavy metal, rock and roll music show. Heavy metal was
it's kind of like if Don Bluth did heavy metal.
you think so?
Yeah, a
Heavy
little bit.
metal is like an anthology. It's like three different stories put together.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
one entire story.
Yeah,
Um,
it isn't the same, but it's got the same. It's in the
yeah,
same genre.
yeah, same genre, definitely for sure. The only difference is it's not an anthology, right? It's just one story as opposed to three,
Yeah.
but it's pretty much very similar. So it includes songs by Cheap Trick, Debbie Harry. All right, Debbie Harry is the lead singer from Blondie. Right? Everyone knows that. Lou Reed, Iggy Pop, Earth, Wind, and Fire. So I mean, it's got some fairly big names for the time. Um, it was a commercial failure. It grossed just over $30,000
Wow.
during its time, and it had an $8 million budget. So
Wow.
it was a really huge failure. It almost Nelvana is the publishing company that did it. They do if you're Canadian, you've seen them on a lot of kids animation stuff. It almost bankrupted them. They almost had to go under. They
Yeah, they're all
spent
subsidized though, right?
well, not back then, not as
Hmm.
much anyway. And they went $3 million over budget as
Wait a
well.
minute.
So
This would have been Trudeau's old man
yeah,
era,
you're
right?
right. Actually, you're right. During that time, the early '80s. Yeah, so they went $3 million over budget. So imagine it was budgeted for $5 million. They went over by $3 million to $8 million. No wonder they were like, "Oh
I
my
can
god!" And they
imagine them
made 30,000.
in the meeting. They're like, "No, don't worry, it'll be worth it."
I think they just like we got to finish this movie. Oh my god, it's costing way too much. They reading through I they had it says the production was not not he was a little troubled. The film was produced without a well-defined script, so the
Really?
crew would develop and work on sequences, leaving holes for more layers of story to be added later. Okay, well
How do you do that with an animation?
that's kind of a okay. And then there's a bunch of stuff that's going to happen, and then we'll get over to this part. So just work on this part. Nearly, like I said, $8 million in studio resources nearly put them out of business. 300 animators worked on the film, and it went $3 million over its budget. The animation was of unusually high quality for the area, and the special effects were mostly photographic techniques, as computer graphics were still in their infancy. Computers were used to generate only a few images in the film. They to add depth, a computer-controlled multiplanar camera system was developed. One effect was called controlled streak photography, where glowing effects are made by combining backlit animation with computer controlled camera. So there's all your money right there. That's where it's all going. Yeah. Oh, JT's in the chat. Welcome. All right, picking up. So anyway, it was it was not slightly somewhat troubled. Now I think these guys like the original heavy metal was a 1981, and that was a Canadian adult animated science fantasy anthology film. So produced by Ivan Reitman. So these guys there's a little bit of experience in that era, and they're trying to do something similar, I guess, or it morphed into something similar, but obviously nowhere near as successful as heavy metal. Yeah, kind of failed in that aspect. What else? Should I give a quick plot summary?
Yes.
Okay, so the plot revolves around Mock Swagger, who is obviously Mick Jagger, a legendary rock musician. He's on the search for a special voice whose frequencies can unleash a powerful demon from another dimension. So there you go. That's the very, very quick thing. He wants to destroy. His dwindling popularity is driving him to destroy the world in vengeance and immortalize himself in the process. So he travels around. This is the very first. He's been traveling around the world looking for the right voice. This is like the very, very beginning. And of course, he happens. They're about to give up actually, and they go to this, this crappy little a nightclub in his hometown, which is Ohmtown, OHM, like ohms, and of course our four heroes, Omar, Angel, Dizzy, and Stretch, are performing in a small rock band, and he hears Angel's voice. She's the only female in the group, and that makes his little ring that he's got. He's got this ring which tells him when he'll hear the right voice, and it's the right voice, and with that voice he can release the demon. So of course, he invites them to his giant house to wine them and dine them. Of course, none of them are, they don't really. The guys are not very interested, and Angel, of course, doesn't want to leave her buddies, but Mock Swagger doesn't want anything to do with them. He just wants her. He basically he drugs the. He uses what's called Edison ball. He kind of hypnotizes them. The other guys, gets rid of them, and then he has to hypnotize her a little bit. Eventually he tries to perform he takes her, kidnaps her, so to speak, and takes her to Nuke York.
Right.
He then goes, from
in an airship.
In an airship, a blimp, yeah. And the guys steal a police car and go to chase her to, they're like, oh, we need to find out why is she doing this. They drive a police car. They drive there. He uses a hypnosis on them again, and he also uses a double to trick them and say she doesn't want to be here. He uses, comes and says, yeah, I'm with Mick Swagger, Mock Swagger, blah blah blah, and and then he drugs them, and they're like, yeah, we want to leave, and he shows that to her, and that's how he tries to keep them under control. They actually they try to do the concert in Nuke York, but it blows up Carnage Hall, or Carnegie Hall, whatever they call it, Carnegie Hall, but Carnage. And then they have to go back to Ohmtown because it's got a big power plant, and do it there. And that's where the final third act comes. The demon is almost summoned, and Angel is able to sing it back. Angel and Omar are able to sing it back into the deep because they have there's a voice. Apparently there's a voice that could summon him, which, she can summon him because if she sings a certain notes, but they can also be unsummoned or sent back by another voices, which they didn't know about.
No one can do it, actually.
No one, right? One voice, one heart, one song can stop the demon. But when they ask who can do this, the computer says that there's no one. But of course, our heroine and heroes can do it, right? Yeah.
Well, okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's about it. And they sing them back, and yeah, everyone's happy. Omar and Angel, they've kind of been flirting the whole time, sort of, and they hug, and
yeah. Well, first of all, welcome Aldous for dropping in on this.
Yeah, thanks. We appreciate you coming by.
Peak episode of Toplofty Lounge, I'm sure.
Can't pick this movie, right? Everyone knows that.
No, I don't watch Canadian furry movies without, on my own accord, Anyway, so Omar.
I'm ignoring the chat. Let's get some those great comments up here.
Yeah, sure.
Cam not bringing a furry is a new development. Yeah, everyone knows it. Yeah, he's kind of bring back airships. Is of course we got those are.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Omar is kind of it's like I have no idea what this guy's motive. He's just kind of like a lump the whole movie, you know.
Yeah,
He's like very self-absorbed, you know. It's like, oh no, you know, he wants to
he's
make the band all about him, you know,
he's
at the
typical
beginning.
20-something rock musician, right?
Yeah,
Maybe.
but then he's you know doing this whole you know kind of moping around, and I don't know. It's just and then I'm okay. I'm trying to talk about the characters, and first of all, uh, Mock's motivation is insane. Of course, you know it's like, oh, I'm not popular, so I'm going to destroy the world with a demon. Okay, weird.
Okay,
But you know,
you really felt that it was insane. Like, I mean, a
well,
self-absorbed rock musician. I mean,
no, I'm saying, of course, it's insane. That's the kind of the nature of this. it- that's to be expected in this sort of
okay,
genre, right? You know, that you've got this, you know, I can't even pronounce the word,
megalomaniac.
megalomaniac,
Yeah,
you know, doing crazy things for crazy reasons that make sense to him, of course.
yeah,
And it's this, you know, sweeping, you know, world, literally world destroying kind of thing. Okay, sure, yeah,
yeah.
that's what you got. And you got these, you know, schlubs who are somehow pulled into it. Now, again, Omar, who you know they kind of present at the beginning as a main character, really doesn't do anything for most of the movie. And one of the other guys, I forget which one, um, one of the other
Which
band
character?
members. I mean,
Oh, one of the band members.
uh, is
With
it?
the
It's
glasses.
yeah. Is it Dizzy?
Um, uh, the fat one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Dizzy. I think no. Is Dizzy the stupid one?
Or
It's
is he
Dizzy and
Stretch? It's
Stretch,
Stretch. One of those two.
the skinny and
You
the
know,
fat one.
it's like he's kind of driving the plot for a portion there. You know where um, you know,
You're right.
from the
Yeah,
point where they get to the mansion, you know, where he's trying to capture her, and you know, you got you know, Angel's got her scenes and everything, but then he's kind of trying to find out what's going on, and he's having these dumb encounters with the brothers, you know, the
the
goons,
big the goons, the mock swaggers goons. Yeah,
right? And then you know, similarly when they you know they take the road trip to Nuke York, and when they get there, you know, trying to find him. Whereas, you know, again, Omar's just kind of doing nothing. Um, and so, okay, you know, the characters aren't well utilized in my opinion.
Okay, so sorry. So Stretch is the skinny, stupid one, and
Okay,
Dizzy is the fat one with glasses. Um,
yeah. And yeah, Weatherman, the villains have paper thin. Yes, exactly. It's like they just kind of throw this thing out there, and it's like, oh, yeah, okay, sure, I'll take that, I guess.
Now, I mean, I can see why they want to go to Nuke York and to save Angel,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. That
but
that
they
makes sense.
kind of she kind of leaves and they don't actually know that
Well, yeah,
she
they
doesn't
right
want to
they
go.
right they're told that she's going off to become famous, and I guess
Yeah.
that's the motivation for Omar. Is it's like, oh, okay, well, I'll show her kind of thing.
He says
Um,
so he says it first, he kind of has this screw her attitude,
yeah,
very, but then he quickly changes his tune. Now, I mean, it doesn't fit with her character that she would go off with Mock Swagger. So that, I mean, I can see that would kind of help them, but they don't really have much other motivator. Like, wow, she wouldn't really do this, would she? But
yeah, they don't do a good job of establishing the characters' relationship. It's kind of just like, oh, I want to do my song, and that's about it, you know, for a setup.
yeah, and they
Within
do
the
have a
band.
conflict between those two at the beginning, where you know they want to do two songs, and they do Omar's song, and of course nobody likes it. And she wants to do her song, and she has to sort of twist arms, and basically Omar says, "No, no, we're going to do my song again or something else," and she kind of just breaks in and does her song, and that's when, of course, Mock Swagger hears her voice and goes, "Ah." So there's
Yeah.
a little bit of conflict there,
Well,
but
and actually, I will say a positive note here. Angel Song, which is what you know she does at their gig, is actually a good song. And then that's the song that ends up being you know the basis for the song for you know the saving song for the end. Um,
yeah, Okay, so you're talking about that. So what did you think about the songs within? Because this genre of film is about good rock music, right? Put to a storyline, right? That's
Yeah.
kind of what.
Um, it,
What do you
it wa-
think of
it
the?
wasn't. I thought it's okay. It uh, it used kind of. I guess I have another good thing to say. It it meshed into the movie pretty well. It didn't seem like, oh well, now we're doing this thing because it's about music. I guess it's pretty easy to do. Um, but it flowed pretty well. The songs flowed pretty well with the story, I guess. Um, I
But
thought.
yeah. Okay, so I would agree. The songs were good, okay, but they really didn't hammer me like I remember. I mean, I haven't seen heavy metal in a long time, but I remember heavy metal being much more, the songs being much more powerful, standing out more, right? Like now maybe
Mhm.
that's just my nostalgia, but I don't know. I mean, I thought that the music was okay, was fine, good, but it wasn't great. That this kind of music has to kind of make these kind of movies. They had, like I said, Cheap Trick, Debbie Harry, Lou Reed, Iggy Pop, Earth, Wind and Fire. Those are pretty good, singers and bands from that era. Those are pretty good gets, but they just didn't hammer it. It's not like, you come out of the movie and you're singing one of the songs, or you're like, you know, right?
Yeah. Well,
Do you
I,
agree,
I
disagree?
was yeah, and again, I think Angel Song is the one that stands out to me. At the
Yeah.
end, I gotta admit, it's kind of like, oh, they're doing the song thing. It's like, oh yeah, the singing is gonna save the world, thing. It's like, which is of course extremely trite. Um,
Yeah. That's
but
the
it
nature of this movie, but
right, but it kind of worked. I think it it did its job. But
yeah.
yeah, is it gonna be a huge hit? No, but I was reading that Debbie Harry did end up reworking that song and was on album for her in the
Oh,
late
really?
80s. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know that.
which the song was renamed Maybe for Sure.
Hmm.
Here, I will link uh,
Drop
the
that link in
Wikipedia
the
page
thing.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, it was a little bit like, I think the music has to be, bang on for this type of movie, and I wasn't, reached as high, and that's probably part of the reason why it's not. Like you compare this with heavy metal, which would be 2 years before that, and heavy metal was, I mean, it was a moderate. I mean, this was a commercial failure. Heavy metal is, was kind of a moderate commercial success, so it did much better. Uh, it wasn't huge, but let me just hear. Heavy metal include the soundtrack. Um, Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, Sammy Hagar, Don Felder, Cheap Trick, Devo, Journey, and Nazareth. So that's a bit of a bigger um, bigger amount of a little bit more star power. Maybe was a little bit a little weak. Like none of the songs I'm sitting there going, oh yeah, that was awesome. And you should come out of that going, that's what you should be. Yeah, that song is really awesome by whoever. Yeah. Character backstory. Weatherman says the character backstory was paper thin. They need to another rewrite on the story to flesh out the characters. Yeah, like I
Yeah,
said, there it could have been a problem with the whole,
eh,
putting it together in pieces and not really having a whole story.
yeah, and I think they had time too. I mean, what was the runtime? Hour 17 or something on this?
77 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah,
77. Yeah, yeah, right.
yeah,
So, they could have
that's
gone to
pretty
90
neat.
minutes, probably fleshed a few things out.
What am I gonna do? How am I gonna fill this 55 minutes on this movie? Yeah,
Right. Well, okay.
yeah. So, now I really like Don Franks as Mock Swagger. I really love his voice. He's a great evil voice. He's a Canadian actor. Um, great voice as Mock Swagger. Um, but yeah, I enjoyed that portion of his voice. I'd like to say that, but anyway, yeah,
Well, okay. Being the topic of the show, or the channel here is sci-fi, right?
yeah,
Um, th I thought the elements with the AI computer and everything were
Yeah.
actually pretty. It's like that didn't seem particularly dated at all. It actually
I
held up.
I agreed with that too. I'm like, oh, listen to the computer talk. I'm like, hey, wow, did they go forward in time and know what? Yeah, I'm like, oh, it works out good. Yeah, it's funny. A lot of times you watch old science fiction and they're not using they don't have cell phones, they don't have anything like that. They're all, but yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
did pretty good in
he
that.
was doing this while he's in the car. So he's linked up to his computer while in his car, and having these conversations and giving it orders and all that, which um
Yeah, which is which was what I was doing today when I was call so and so. PBR says going longer would have helped out a lot. I think. I'm not sure that it would. I think it depends on how good of a rewrite you did.
yeah,
It could have made it worse.
they had time to go to fill things in if they wanted to.
Yes, and they could have built it up if
Yeah,
they if they knew what they were doing.
honestly, I was maybe partially because I've been ill, but I did fall asleep in the middle of it. I had to go back to it for a second round, but
Yeah.
um,
So I'm just looking at the list of actors. I mean, Debbie Harry is Angel's singing voice.
mhm.
I none of the actors I know, except of course Catherine O'Hara was Aunt Edith. She's the only big name on this for me anyway. I'm not an expert by any
We talk about
means, but
uh, Maurice LaMarche was
as a sailor, he has a very small role as a sailor. That's the sailor guy, I think, who gets the tattoo of the naked mermaid on his back of his head,
hmm.
and then goes to a phone booth and calls Mick Swagger's goons and tells them the story, and then gets electrocuted and dies. I think that's the character. Yeah. So,
Yeah, you're right. A lot of these names are not particularly
I mean, Catherine Herron's a big
household
name,
names. Yeah,
especially in Canada. She's done tons of stuff, and she's still working. I mean, you guys, Beetlejuice, both of them. Schitt's Creek is more recent, and she's great. Like, um, Best in Show, A Mighty Wind. She's a great
yeah.
actress too. I love her stuff. She's just, if I ever made any kind of movie or anything, getting her to go in a it'd be like I gotta have Catherine O'Hara in my whatever just because it's her. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Go ahead. I kind of
Well,
Cam is sick. Yes, Cam is sick.
yeah.
I'm not sure. Why are we not talking about 81 American Pop at all? I'm not sure. Why should we be talking about that? It's not really. Was it part of the? Wasn't part of the movie? Was it? Really?
Given that I got nothing else to say, hey Eldis, if you want to come on and talk about that right now.
Let's just talk about 1981 American Pop. Well, this is not. I mean, this is not a pop movie. It's a rock and roll, man. This is rock and roll, man. It's not pop. It's cool. Yeah. Okay. So, what else about the? What about else about the movie? Okay. So, this was the company's first animated film. Heavy Metal was in a Canadian American co-production, but this was a Canadian only film. Maybe that's why it sucked. They didn't have somebody to tell them, "Hey, do something good." It's kind of got a bit of a cult following now, but I mean, the cult following for heavy metal is much more, uh, much bigger and much yeah. Um, you kind of comparing that. What did we just say about the animation, Cam? You're
Like I said, it reminded me of a Don Bluth kind of a thing. Uh, but it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. I kind of like that era of animation.
yeah. The 2D. My favorite. This is my favorite style of like. I way go for 2D animation. Better than much more than this sort of 3D stuff that we have now. I mean, depends on how they do it, but yeah, this kind of classic 2D animation style I think is the best. From the similar to the. I mean, similar to the the GI Joe and all that from the '80s style. Um, yeah, that's my favorite. So.
Yeah. Well, just Ellis pointing out, American Pop is a movie by Ralph Bakshi.
Oh,
Uh,
is it? Oh, you talking?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I've never seen that.
And I haven't seen it. So
1981's American Pop. No, I'm sorry, never seen that. Never heard of it. I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big music. I'm a science fiction guy, not a music expert, but yeah, I know a little bit about. Yeah, I've never seen Bakshi's film. No, all right, well, I'm gonna look that up. Yeah, I mentioned the hell out of heavy metal. Yeah, simply because it's probably the most well known of these science fiction, fantasy animated films. So I use that to mention to other people, so people understand what we're talking about. But yeah, yeah. So animation, yes, go on, keep going.
no, I thought it was decent. It wasn't painful to watch or anything like that.
And like the style.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And some of the scenes were kind of cool. The airship was cool, and generally uh, I when it's gave the opening role about the post-apocalyptic thing. I thought, oh, this is gonna be kind of weird, but it was really very conventional. It was kind of like, well, near future, kind of thing,
yeah.
relative to us. And
If
so it
the
what.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I mean, they have like air car or floating cars, hover cars and things like
Yeah,
that. And I like, like I said, airships and things. So it is kind of a little wilder technology. But I thought that was portrayed well. They had the classic, what was it, the anti-gravity dance club or whatever they went to,
yeah, yeah.
um, which was kind of cool. Again, a bit trite of a scene, I suppose, but not bad.
Yeah. I would agree. I like the. What about the? Sorry, I was going to ask you about the final demons coming out scene. What do you think of that?
Weatherman, am I too quiet, or is it
You
because
went a
my
little
voice
quiet
is?
there. You went a little
Oh,
quiet
okay.
there again. But
Um,
I don't.
the
I don't give Cam crap for that anymore because it happens so often. He gets mad at me when what I keep mentioning it.
I'm gonna blame Microsoft because
Yeah, I think probably
Anyway,
that's the
um,
thing to do. That or
the
Trump.
yeah, right, yes. The demon scene. I don't know.
The
Again,
final scene. I'm talking third act, the big final. Demon comes out in that whole thing.
is okay. I mean, it's like, oh, they're gonna get him. It's the big thing happening. It's like, oh, well, we'll sing our way to save the world. Okay, yeah, got it. It was fine, but I can't really say that I loved it. Um,
Yeah, I actually, I mean, I agree. I was actually a little bit. I'm like, there's some good stuff during the movie, and then it's kind of like they didn't put all of their effort into this big final. Like the demons come out, and I'm like, okay, that looks okay, but I was expecting more. More demon like, more. It wasn't bad, but this is your big thing. Like, put all your animation assets into that. That should kick ass. The demon should be, I mean, it was looked okay. It was fire, and I'm like, all right, some of this is all right, but it should hammer it more. It should be more scary, more evil looking, more. So I was kind of a little bit disappointed. I'm like, yeah, put more into that.
well, plus, I mean, we should probably mention that the whole concept of where did he even get this idea about this demon? Where does any of this come from?
Well,
Um,
remember, Mock Swagger talks about he's magic, right? He's got spells and stuff. He that's why it's kind of it's science fiction fantasy because he's talking about his
See, I think it would have been better if they had some kind of relation to like, oh, yeah, this demon destroyed, it was the reason for the apocalypse or something, at the beginning, that it had some tie-in, some some reason
yeah,
to exist in the story, other than just being, oh, this is the thing he's doing. It
yeah.
it like Weatherman said, it's just razor thin.
Is and the thing is that they talk about that Mock Swagger has, some sort of magical power, but we don't actually like everything he does. It seems to be technology based, and like he makes
Yeah.
a sign, and then somebody like one of the goons press a button, and he disappears, or stuff like that. So it's kind of implying that he's a bit of a like he's using technology to pretend he's got some magical power, but he doesn't have it. So it's not stated, um, definitely one way or the other. But that's my impression was that it's like a pretend magician using technology to do it. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've got the same. Yeah, stage magician. Yeah, fake. Yeah, I agree with PBR Street Gang. Like, big fan of the animation. I like the animation too. I mean, it's good. I like the animation from Heavy Metal as well. Like these kind of the style of animation in these type of films from this era. I like it. Anyway. Heavy Metal is a good prequel for The Fifth Element. Yeah, I think I've heard other people say that too. Yeah. Okay. What else? Anything animation? The music. We talked about the music a little bit. Kind of not bad, but not as grabbing you. And just as I would want to. Yeah. So I'm a little, I think those elements could have made it a better. Yeah, I just they talk about her singing is a counter spell to the spell of that Mock Swagger is trying to do to bring this demon out, that kind of thing. But it's all seems technology, right? It's not actually magic based in that sense. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Did we forget everything? I mean, I kind of found there wasn't enough in this movie to sort of really, really grab me. Um, you know, it's actually the movie was released. It's released on April 15th of 1983, so 2 days from now. So it's kind of, I mean, it's kind of lucky, but I didn't do that on purpose. But it fits in. It actually was released, you know, yeah, 2 days from now, and Back in the Future, back. So I guess we, yeah, just lucky. The
Well,
story in Rock and Roll is the only thing that's the story in Rock and Roll is the only thing that suffers in the story. We talked about that. Yeah, I think it's a little bit weak. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. You were going to say something.
I was just gonna say, um, in a musical, you mentioned this earlier, how you should be walking out singing a song or whatever. It's like the song of the musical needs to be like a character, right? That
Mm,
like a great example of it is that thing you do, uh, which you can't mistake that it's so inherently attached to every part of the story, that it is like a character,
yeah.
and that's not the case here. Which again, I think Angel Song, and then you know uh, what's the name of the final version of it? It's
The one that
well, what
when she redid it.
right, the her and Send Love Through. It is it's good, but it just doesn't, it just kind of appears,
It's
it's
not enough. Yeah.
right.
Like
Yeah.
if you compare it to other, um, let's take like the animated Pink Floyd The Wall, right? The songs in there just hammer, right? Like they just you come out of there and they just grab you and they set the whole tone for it, and it's just you know bam.
Oh yeah. I
uh
mean,
that's a great, I mean, that's a great example, but I mean that's Pink Floyd, that's The Wall. I mean,
that's
jeez.
full on rock opera.
Yeah, yeah, it's different, but the idea of the song being the centerpiece and it's got to really just hammer, and yeah, it doesn't, this doesn't do that, and again that's probably the reason why it was a commercial failure at 30K budget, or grossing 30K on a $8 million budget. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you gonna add anything to that?
No.
Yeah, I think that's about I think that's about all we had to say about the yeah. Yeah, I was talking about yeah, they gradually made the characters more humanistic. So I think that's why I think that's why they're supposed to be. You're not sure what they are. Yeah, that's why
I'm I'm
they
sorry,
look very human like.
I didn't catch that last comment. You say it one more time, please.
Oh, I'm just kind of repeating what I said earlier that they started with these cartoony characters, but as the show went on, as they redeveloped it, they became more humanistic. So we were talking about the characters. I think most of the characters are. Oh, Mock Swagger. I mean, he looks human to me. He looks like Mick Jagger. But most of the characters, the Omar, Angel, I think they are sort of mouse or rat like. But then you've got Mylar, who's very much more rat like. So
Yeah. Well, okay,
they
look at
don't quite
Angel.
match them.
Angel looks exactly like a human with an anime nose, right?
Yes. Most of them
So,
look that way, right?
yeah.
All the band members do that. All four of them, right? They're all kind of like that, right?
Yeah,
So
generally.
I think that's the thing about the whole, them becoming more humanistic. I think they should have just. Could you have just made them human and just gone with that? Like, why not?
Yeah,
It
right.
would have been. Would it
The
have
whole
taken away
setup.
from the storyline? No. You just
Yeah,
say, the front crawl would just be, oh, it's been, this nuclear war and now mutants and blah blah blah, right?
yeah.
I don't think it would have mattered. Weatherman's talking about Star Chaser. I have to check that one out, I guess. Um, animation and the music are both very passable. The script needs a lot of work. Yeah, and I think again that's the. I mean, I would say that the animation is good. The music is passable, but that's the biggest. The biggest fault is the music doesn't grab you enough, and it should grab you for a animated rock and roll fantasy movie. And the script, yeah, the script's a little bit weak. Yeah, Star Chaser. Did I say Storm Chaser? Star Chaser. All right, I have to check this out. Everybody's talking about it. All right. Anthologies tend to take a lot of creative work to tie together. It's nearly possible in first attempts. Yeah, this is not. Yeah, this is unlike heavy metal. This is not an anthology. It's fully put together. But anyway, yeah. All right. Okay, so that's I think that's about it for the show. I think Cam and I have said everything we wanted to say on the movie. It's it was okay. I was expecting a little more. I was hoping for a little more. A little bit disappointed overall in the movie. Good animation, okay music, and that's one of the weakness. Script a bit weak.
Yeah, it's again, I the more I thought about it, the more I kind of like this. I have to admit, but it's really more like me envisioning what it could have been.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like they had most of the pieces there, but anyway, uh, su surprisingly not as horrible as you might have expected.
Yeah. Really? Yeah. Okay. You were giving it the
Okay,
before the
well, should we give it a grade here?
you were giving me a hard time for picking it earlier this week. But anyway, do
Yeah,
you want to give it a grade?
yeah,
Who gave it a grade? Someone gave it a grade. Weatherman, did you give it a grade already? 6 out of 10
yeah. He said
at the
6 out of 10.
beginning. 6 out of 10. Yeah. Okay, Cam, go ahead.
I'm gonna give it a letter grade. I'm gonna say because I liked the, the songs, then I'm gonna give it a B minus.
B minus. Ooh, that's
Yeah,
pretty.
but
Um,
that's floating the C minus script.
yeah. I like to. I don't like to. I Babylon 5. I never rate the. I never give them. Everyone's like, oh, I give it this. I'm like, I don't want to rate it. I just want to. So I'm not tend to rate it, but I would kind of agree with the sort of the 6 out of 10. It has it had the potential to go to a 7 or maybe even an 8 if they, if the songs were better. Uh, I would, I would tweak the animation a little bit, like the final scene with the demon. Just up that a little bit, just make
Well,
it more demony and scary
Yeah, there
and
should have been a whole thing where it's like, oh, the demon's doing this rampaging and
yeah,
blah 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 blah, and
and then
then it's
another
like,
song for that, right?
yeah,
The
exactly,
demon
and
song, and it's all chaotic and screaming and that kind of stuff, and just and you're like,
right.
oh, and you're
It
watching, you're going, holy shit, this is really bad. Oh,
instead
how
it
are
was
they going to
just like
defeat this?
Angel's just like, well, I sang it in, I guess I could sing it out. It was just like, but it was like one after the
Yeah,
other. It didn't have any time to develop. You know, it should have been tearing apart everything and just,
yeah, destroying things around them and
right. And
ripping
then
off
it
their
would have been like,
clothes.
well,
Yeah,
okay.
well, I mean, it's an adult
And
movie.
the point is, it needed some build up to a climax. It was like they just kind of went this short build to a climax, and it just kind of stayed there for a second, and then it was over.
They said, "Holy shit, we spent $8 million on the thing already. We got to finish it off. We're already
Yeah, yeah,
$3 million over budget. I'm gonna have to close the company and declare bankruptcy quickly. Just do something."
yeah.
That's
So I
I bet
thought I
that's what
hate.
happened.
Sorry, excuse me. I thought I'd hate you more for making me watch this, but eh,
I thought it would.
maybe
I thought you would too.
maybe because I was kind of trapped at home.
Yeah, maybe you were drugged up or something like that. Yeah.
That could be.
Okay, Weatherman wants to wrap this up. Okay, we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
kind of we were working towards wrapping it up. But
All right.
anyway,
Let's
yeah.
let's.
So I stick with my 6. Yeah, okay, could have been better, but not as bad as I thought. Too. I was hoping for more, but yeah. All right. Okay, so that's the end of this show. Let's talk about the future. Let's talk about. We were discussing the next movie night, which would be probably in 4 weeks or so. We're trying to do one a month. This is the April movie night. The next movie night, Cam and I were talking about it. We're thinking about. We have a couple ideas, but should we share this right now? I think we're pretty set on this
Sure.
one. Okay, so everyone knows that there's a new Tron movie coming out soon. So I think for the next movie night, we should do the original Tron and not the one from 20 years ago. The original from the 80s. 1980, was it 81 or 83? 83. No, 82, sorry. 82. So the original Tron. So that's what we're going to do next. So, pull out your DVDs or whatever, find your original Tron, and we're going to look at that one. I think everyone would like that one. Oh, Michael, welcome. Happy birthday. My daughter went to see the Minecraft movie today for her birthday. Yeah. I didn't have to see it, thank God. Anyway, so Tron is our next one. We're going to do that. I think we've made that decision. It is on the Internet Archive, so you can watch it for free. Do your homework if you want to do that. And I will eventually, I'll put it up once I pick the date, which one, probably 4 weeks from now, I'll put up the thing, and people can watch it on the Internet Archive, or you can pull out your own one at home. So that's set. What's going on next week for the next Toplofty Lounge, Cam? What's the next topic? You were picking the next topic, right?
It's a surprise.
It's a surprise. Yeah, Cam didn't. I just put him on the spot with that. What's happening next week on the show? I don't know. We haven't decided. At least we got the next movie night, though. That's something. I'll have to figure out what the next topic's going to be.
But Wednesday.
But Wednesday, what's going on Wednesday?
Babylon 5, episode 14.
Which one is that? It's
hold on.
I know which one it is. It is the 3-letter one. TKO.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if are you going to like this one, Cam?
Probably not.
It's kind of it's the one with Ivanova and her dad, I think it's going to be not one of your favorites.
Maybe not. Look, Death Angel's shadow showed up.
Yeah. Hey, look at this. TKO. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm not gonna. Cam, Death Angel Shadow, welcome. Yeah, Cam is kind of converting me too. He's like every time it's not a main storyline one. He's like and I'm kind of like I'm kind of starting to agree with him. Side story, yes, exactly. Some of the side stories can be good, but I don't know if I'm. This one was my favorite or not. I have to rewatch it. I watched it once. Got to rewatch it. Don't know if I'm going to be as jazzed about this one as I was about last time. But, we'll see, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's it. Babylon 5. Anything else we got to mention, Cam? Is there another tool coming up in our near Toplofty future?
Actually, there were some tools that came out. I don't have them yet though, so I will something interesting for me, but I'll prepare something as soon as I get my hands on it.
Oh, Weatherman's going to go back watching UFO. Yeah, I've been trying to watch that too. I fell asleep during one too, but I was watching it late at night. But I got through the first one for sure. We should talk about UFO sometime. I like it because I don't know, Weatherman, why you like it, but it takes itself. It's really cheesy, but it takes itself seriously. It's like, no, we're really serious about the show, even though it was like really cheesy. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna watch a little bit more. Yeah. Oh, is that it? Anything else? Babylon 5? No, I think that's everything. Did we forget anything? No, I don't think so. I think that's about. Oh, wait. I think I did forget. Oh, Death Angel shot. He's got to come in because we got to do the joke, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So these ones are all. I've got a couple of them because I think they're pretty good. I'm going to do a bunch of them. These are all, of course. We just did a show about a musical. Yeah, it came for the jokes, just popped in for the jokes. So these are all music related. Okay. Right. Oh, that's not very good. What was Beethoven's favorite fruit, Cam? I'm sure you know this one.
I don't know what was Beethoven's favorite fruit.
Banana.
Okay, I love that
Get
one.
Because bananas,
Yep.
but because banana is like from the Beethoven's one of the symphonies. I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. Why did the piano break up with the accordion?
I don't know. Why did the piano break up with the accordion?
It found it too pushy. Right? Because the accordion, you got to push it. You got to pump it to make push. Right?
Yep.
So it was too pushy. Get it? Yeah. All right. Oh, one more.
Sure.
So look, see, the chat likes that. See, they thought that was a good one. All right. Chat has good taste. Okay. What's a skeleton's least favorite instrument? What's a skeleton's least favorite instrument?
I don't know. What's a skeleton's least favorite instrument? I'm gonna say xylophone comes to mind, but go ahead.
No, the trombone. Oh wait, that's a sad song. Wait, that was a good one.
All right.
Trombone, skeleton's bones.
All right, Weatherman's got to get out of here.
Okay, that was next time I got to lead off with the good one, or sorry, lead off with the bad ones and hit the good ones. Okay, so that's our show for today. We kept it to we're 2 minutes over an hour. We're trying to keep it to an hour. That's good. Look at this interesting information about it.
I think we're at our peak viewers right now. Everybody came in at the end.
Don't end the show. Keep it going. All right. So
thanks, though, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. That's great. So appreciate you guys coming in for the show. Like and subscribe. Tell your friends. We're trying to get up to 1,000 viewers by June, and we're basically going up by 1,000 subscribers by June. We're going up one a week, so we only have about 444 more weeks, and we should hit our goal. So we push that up.
If you guys want to troll us, share this episode far and wide, and then it'll give the impression that this is the kind of thing that we need to do.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for the show. Hopefully we'll see you for Babylon 5 for TKO on Wednesday, and if not, next week on the Toplofty Lounge for who knows what for. Some sort of discussion about something. We'll find out then, I guess. Be surprised for everybody. All right. Hey, thanks for everybody for coming in. Like and subscribe. We'll see you soon. Good night, everyone.
Good night.